Morning. You find me this morning at Beaconsfield Services, just off the M40. Is it the M40? Yes, I'm right. Boss is telling me. We're in the Kia, coming all the way down to Slough, just outside of London area, to pick up the new car. I say new, 20 odd years old. Just stopped for a Mackey's breakfast. Set off this morning at 5:30. Must be crazy, but the bloke's going out this morning, so got to be there. So I'll pick you up in a minute when we're in it, and you can start guessing what it is, unless you're bored and you fast forward to the end and you see it. Right. Hopefully you can see me, or this is a waste of time. The sun's shining that bright on the camera, I can't even see the screen. Right, so we are 75 miles in from picking the car up. If anybody can guess from the interior what we're in, I'd be quite impressed with that, to be honest. The t-shirt's going to give it away a little bit. No, it's not a Capri. So what have I bought? Well, yeah, a couple of people have already guessed. Because of the clues I've been dropping, I've bought a Ford Focus, Mark 1 Focus, or strictly speaking a Mark 1.5. It's the facelifted one where the indicators are in the headlights. This is actually the third Focus I've owned, although it's been 13 years maybe since I've owned a Focus. I think probably 2010 was probably the last time I owned one. I started off with a saloon, a red one on a T-Reg, 1999 T, and then I had a black Estate on an 03 plate. This one that I'm in at the minute is a hatchback on a 52 plate. So I've now had all three variants of the Focus. Difference with this one's a diesel. The first two were the 1800 Z-Tech petrols, and obviously the big difference then was they were virtually new cars at the time, or certainly, you know, 5 years old type of thing, compared to this now is 20 years old. So not 52, but it's a January 52, so it's an 03. So why have I bought a Focus? Well, when I was looking through cars to replace the Rover, I sort of just got a bit nostalgic for things I'd had before. I wanted to go back to diesels. I missed driving a diesel after I got rid of the Seat and many other diesels that I've had before. This engine in the Focus is the trusty 1753 diesel, but this variant that I'm in now, I've not had this. This is the TDCi, the Duratec Common Rail version, which is one of the last versions of this engine they did. First used this engine for me in a 1985 Escort van. It was a 1.6 non-turbo, so it would have been about 55 brake horsepower. I've then had this engine in many forms as a 1600, an 1800, an 1800 turbo, and then this version, as I say, is the TDCi, the Common Rail one. Not my favourite variant. The TDDI for me is a better engine, but this one has obviously been tweaked and stuff, and this one is the 115 brake horsepower version. And compared to thinking back years ago to my Escort 1600 diesels, which were about 55 brake horsepower, it is a world of difference. I mean, we've sat at 70, 75 all the way back up the motorway. It's not missed a beat, and you could just plant your foot now and you could easily take it to 100, I'd imagine, pretty easily. It's got plenty of torque. It's a really nice drive, to be honest. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with it at the moment. The car's not without faults. Basically, I found this car on eBay in Slough. Been speaking to the dealer. He's been totally honest with me. He bought it through the auctions, and he had a bit of a last minute panic buy because it was so cheap, and he bought it not realizing it was a diesel, and they're just outside the ULEZ zone, and he said, I was never going to sell it. He said, to be honest, you're the only person that's asked about it. It was up for 995 on eBay, and I put a bid in at 850, and he accepted straight away. So I probably could have got it for less, but at 850 I'm happy enough. He's put 12 months MOT on it. The MOT history is okay. It's a bit cagey. It's one of them cars, I think, that's been put in for an MOT all its life with no preparation. It's failed on a lot of things like bulbs and tyres and brakes and stuff like that. And the annoying thing for me is, up until the MOT that it's just had, the word corrosion had never appeared on the MOT history. This guy's put it in for an MOT, and it's got corrosion written all over it. But I think it's going to be surface rust really from it sitting. I'm not worried about it. 12 months MOT anyway. But I'll have a good look over it. Other than that, the car, I'll show you obviously round it when we get home, but then I'll do a more detailed walk round tomorrow when I've cleaned it up and stuff. It's got a few old lady corner dents, as I call them, and a bit of paint blemishes here and there, but it's quite genuine. It seems honest enough. It's done 112,929 miles as I'm driving this, and I've done 82 of them. First registered in 2003 in Colville, about 20 miles from where I live, but then straight to what's it called, Anglesey in Wales. So I've no idea how someone can buy a car in Colville, take it to Anglesey. I know that because obviously the service book's in here with the original owner's name and address, and then I have got the next logbook where he sold it to the next owner, and who was also in Wales, and that's it. So there's been 2 previous owners according to the logbooks. I'll be the 3rd. However, the garage, like I say, bought it through British car auctions. He was under the impression it had gone through, he says, British car auctions own Cinch and Kazoo and stuff like that. He says it's probably been put through We Buy Any Car or something, and the auctions have just banged it through. He bought it cheap. So 2 real owners, but who knows how many people have actually owned it through the auctions and him. But like I say, on the logbook I'll be the 3rd owner. Service history in the book is non-existent really. It's got 3 official Ford stamps in the front of the book and then nothing. So whether it's been serviced privately, I'll never know. There's limited amount of paperwork in the car because of GDPR, obviously, you know, data protection. I don't even think the dealer should have left me the logbook, but yeah, I don't mind. I won't divulge the details. Yeah, so that's it really. A couple of little knocks on it, like I say. There's a dent in the back, a few scratches here and there. The passenger side mirror is broken, as in the casing's missing off it. But other than that, interior of the car is really tidy. Looks like I finally bought a car with 2 keys, shock horror, and 4 decent tyres, which is a novelty for me. But I didn't really have a good look over it. I'd sort of, when I looked at the car on eBay, I got him to send me a video via WhatsApp, and I basically agreed on the video really. He was honest enough walking round. The only thing he hasn't told me, which I've obviously found out since, the passenger side rear electric window doesn't work. There's a piece of cardboard holding it up. looks like the glass has come out of the runner, and if I remove the cardboard, the glass drops, so I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, other than that, it seems quite tidy, and like I say, touch wood anyway, we're now 85 miles in and it's driving like a dream. So clutch seems okay, brakes seem okay. There was an advisory on the brakes that the brakes were dragging, but it had been sit since March in his yard, so probably a lot of that was due to sitting. But like I say, all seems good now. I'll have a good look over it. Going to do an oil and filter change as a matter of course, because I've no idea how long it's been in. And the cam belt history, who knows. It's got written on the top of the engine that the cam belt was done in 2015. Has it been done since? I don't know. So I'll have to have a look at that, and maybe if it's not too expensive, I'll have a look at the cam belt. So yeah, I'll leave this here and I'll pick you up when we get home, and I'll show you a quick walk around the car. Okay, so I've just made it home. 121.4 miles since I left the dealership in Slough, and absolutely nothing to report on the way home. Really well. I'll now show you some footage of the car as I wander around. I'll also insert a bit when I first saw it myself at the dealership. I'm then going to go and get changed and start having a bit of a mess with it, but that will be a different video. So if you've watched so far, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Focus content, and obviously there'll be some more Agatha stuff later on in the month. The plan is still to get this car sawned and use the Allegro for the next few months in the summer. It was literally, I bought this because it came up at the right time. I'll use it this month obviously because I've paid for a month's tax now, but yeah, the Allegro will be coming up on the channel, and we'll use this for a month or so just to see how we get on, do a few jobs on this, and then we'll see how we go from there. So as I say, thanks for watching. If you do like the videos, wouldn't mind if you give it a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one, and stay tuned for the exterior. Right, so here's my first look at the car at the dealer, other than the WhatsApp video that he sent me. So we just saw it in the paperwork now. Okie dokie then, here we are. So this is the new acquisition. It's as we say, a Ford Focus 1.5 if you like, because the newer ones have the bumper rubbing strip and the indicators in the headlight. Things to note that please me, still on its original dealer plates as supplied from Colville, which tallies up with the dealer supply in the handbook. Obviously there's some scabby bits. You can see all the white bits where the paint's knocked off everywhere along the car, and we've got a bit of a dent in the bumper there, but other than that it's okay. For some crazy reason the wiper arm is set there, and when it's wiping it goes over the A pillar, so I've got to take this off and try and park it a bit lower. Maybe it's had a new windscreen at one time and not been set properly, who knows. This is what I was on about with the mirror. Look, the casing is off the mirror. Now I thought these should have colour-coded mirrors, but the other side's got a black one, and so I don't know whether it's had a replacement mirror at one time, who knows, but I'll sort that anyway. This side's pretty straight, got a mud flap missing there, but the other three are there. This is what I saw on the original video with a piece of cardboard jammed in the window, and if you look at this, just hang on, I can force the window down with my hand, so I've got to sort that out. If I can't fix it, it's going to be a block of wood job. I'm not paying money out. This is not a restoration car, this is just a work car. Got scuffs on the corners, and this is the worst part here of the car, I'm not going to lie. It's got a little bit of a dent there, and then a good scuff here, and the paint's off here. It's obviously hit something on the corner there, and then we've got a few little key type scratches down the side here, which I'm gonna buff out. They should come up okay. As you can see, this mirror's got the cap on, but it's black. Now this should be blue. I think this colour's called Metropolis. And as you can see, it's a gear model. Quickly show you inside, but I do want to do a proper sort of walk through at a later date. We've got aircon and climate control, and it gets absolutely freezing. Slightly annoyed that the original stereo is not in it, although it has got a DAB in it, but I do like the original Ford stereo, so I might look for a replacement one of them. I'll have to stop the phone. That might be why yeah, I don't know why that's set so low. I'm gonna have to look at that because it's really annoying. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'll have to stop the phone to pop the bonnet, because with these stupid Ford ones you have to put the key in the bonnet to pop it. Just hang on. Right, bonnet up. As you can see, there isn't a great deal of room in these. As I said, it's the Duratorque TDCi, the common rail one. 115 brake horsepower, 1.8. It's actually 1753, and that's the only bit of servicing history that I've got. Timing belt done at 45,000 miles. No idea if it's been done since. That was 2015, so that is 8 years ago. I don't even know what the interval is on these, whether it's 10 years, 7 years, 5 years, I don't know. I'm going to have to research that. I'm also going to have to look at whether financially it's viable to get it done. I know that sounds really grim, but this car at the minute owes me 850 quid. If it's 300 or 400 quid to put a cam belt on, it makes the car worse, you know, worth less. Obviously if the cam belt goes, I'm knackered anyway. It's always a fine line when you're running a budget car. But I'll do a bit of research, see what I can find out. But yeah, other than that, everything seems okay. Looks like I need the bonnet up to do that, and just pop that and drop that, I think. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to get the jet wash on it and have a look. So yeah, that's it really. I've just had a quick look through the book. There are 3 stamps in the book that the original owners had done, and then nothing. So I've got no history for it at all. So the least I can do is drop the oil myself and get on with it. As I say, I will show you around it more, but the tyres, they look like ditch finders. Yeah, I mean, Comforter, God knows what. Never heard of them anyway. But they've got tread on them. Let's have a look. What's on that one? Genesis. I'm going to play odd tyre roulette now. I hate odd tyres. Yeah, that's another odd one. Oh no, that's a Genesis as well. So we've got a matching pair on the back. Oh, we've got a matching pair front and rear, so I can live with that, even if they are ditch finders. I'm not going to be paying for new tyres. It's just not. Like I say, I don't want to invest too much into it. First job, I'm going to go and get changed and whop that door card off, and at least do something with this so it's secure. Then I'll order a mirror cap off eBay, just because that's irritating, and I'll either take the other mud flap off or see if I can find a cheap set of mud flaps for the front. Get the jet wash out. Problem is now the sun's going to come around, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to clean, so I may just do the tatting about stuff like fixing the window and the wiper, and then clean it early on in the morning when the sun's round the back. All right, thanks for watching, catch you later.